Hello, this is Brother Speak, the Brother Speak podcast, and I'm putting myself on camera for this one because, oh my God, there's some very ignorant takes when it comes to face false grape accusations. So, what made me do this live stream right quick is let me show this right quick. I'm gonna read it to y'all. So what happened was there was this IG model named Jordan who accused this streamer Tyler of raping her after the streamer awards. So it came out that she was lying. He had the receipts. So pretty much what happened was she got with him, slept with him, and asked him for 2K. And unfortunately, he didn't pay. So, well, unfortunately for him, not unfortunately for him, he didn't pay because then she went on social media and accused him of raping. But luckily for him, he had the receipts to prove that he didn't rape her. It was a sexual encounter that, well, she didn't get what she wanted out of it. Either him or the fame of being his girlfriend or the money. And so she decided to what? Accuse him of rape online. Now, with that said, she never went to court. She's never filed actual rape charges against him. She just ran her mouth on social media. And when it was found out that he had the receipts to prove that that's not what happened, it was a sexual encounter that she didn't feel like she got the benefits of. And when people saw the receipts of the fact that she wasn't getting raped, she just didn't like the outcome of the encounter. And then she went online talking about how she don't like YNs and she like white boys. Which, well, why are you messing with a YN if you don't like YNs? But that's how some women do. They're like, well, I don't like this dude anyway. He got a small penis. Hey, straight to the point. How you doing? I don't like YNs. I like white boys. And yet you slept with a YN. You let a YN touch intimate parts of your body. Because some of the things you were talking about was getting her ass ate out and then him sucking her toes. Those are intimate parts of your body. You letting somebody you claim you're not attracted to do. I'm sorry, lady. What are we talking about here? But I'm not gonna get too far on that one, but I did want to talk about something important, and that is law ignorance of false rape allegations. There are a lot of people who are very ignorant because they don't know the law, and also because emotions. This is a touchy subject for a lot of men because let's face it, you had a lot of men who've been falsely accused, especially black men in particular. But they don't understand the law. So, so I wanted to. They show the sexual side, get the wrong attention, then cry and make excuses when it goes left. Yep, that's a lot of women. And the problem is also is that they have the ability to do that because a lot in the past, a lot of women will come out and say they got raped. Nobody believe them. And when they go to court, they didn't believe them. So to overcompensate because that's what here in America we do to make up for past mistakes. We don't make it better for them. No, we overcompensate. So now, anytime a woman comes out and say she got raped, everybody immediately believes her, no matter what. They don't they don't check anything. They just believe her. It's sad, but that's what we do here. Because there's been so many instances where these women will not believe, and there's a lot of damage that has been done to women because of that. However, we do like most people do. We overcompensate for that and go way on the other end where we just automatically assume this man is guilty regardless. So we have this situation here. And so now we've seen where women were accusing men of raping, and it's not true. They've been all they mad about is a sexual incident that didn't go the way they wanted, and now they use that card against men because a lot of it is because of ignorance. And then people say stupid stuff because of ignorance. So I want to highlight the comments that well, highlight a comment, a back and forth between me and a guy on Facebook. So I'm gonna put that up real quick. Let's put this up. Sorry, yeah. I'm trying to get this right. There we go. Damn, you know. All right. So, okay, so this is the story here. I'll put a link in the description for this, so if y'all want to go look at it yourself. But I want to highlight this comment. Okay, well, a bunch of comments, a few comments. All right, so let me read this one right here. She needs charges brought against her lie as rape is a serious accusation, and to freely throw it out there over 2K is foul AF. Unless she, so I wrote, unless she actually filed charges against him, he can't file criminal charges for that. He can sue her, which he is doing. Which, all right. Let me go. Let me get to the one that I was just irritated by. Okay, no, not this one in particular, but I did want to show this one. This is from Mike Jones. Sounds like good criminal case for the state to pick up extortion or blackmail charges on. And so, which I replied, the guy would have to file charges against her. Okay. One person that I really wanted to look up because, the things that this dude was saying was just so out of pocket. Sorry, this was kind of impromptu, but you kind of see what I'm talking about with the people are not ignorant. I mean, people are ignorant of these things and they're using their emotion when they're not looking at the law. Yeah, they might have deleted it, but look like they deleted it. But the point of it is there was a guy on here who was saying that well, he should file charges against her. Same thing that all these other people were saying. And I was like, well, unless she has filed charges against him, he can't file charges against her. And he was like, well, if he don't file charges against her or anything, then he must be guilty. And I'm like, that was so stupid that I had to sit back and I had to really sit back and think about, do you not understand the law? You really don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't make an ignorant take like that. So let's educate everybody. And I had to go read this right quick. All right. To file false rape charges against a woman, you have to be convicted, not just charged, but had to be convicted of false rape allegations. You have to be convicted. Now, here's where the problem comes with these charges. Number one, this is the big problem. Most DAs are not going to file these charges against women. Why? Because they don't want to seem like they're punishing victims. Okay? Because one, they don't want to seem like they're punishing victims. Two, there's a fear that victims will not come out if they feel that a prosecutor is going to go after victims of rape, SA, SH. If they feel that that's going to happen, they're going to be less likely. That's what they believe. They will be less likely to come forward. So most DAs are not going to go forward with it. And even if they go forward with it, there's not going to be much punishment for the same reason. You don't want that tag as being a DA that punishing women for for coming out and saying they were raped or SA, and y'all get the point. Two, it's also very hard to prove because you can any lawyer that will defend the woman will easily say, well, they made a mistake. Um, or it's not that he's innocent, it's that they didn't have enough evidence to convict him. So you have a high barrier to cross in order to get this conviction. It has to be like undeniable that this woman lied. A woman coming online saying that you raped her is not a criminal charge. Her running her mouth on you, as bad as it is, I don't like it. I think it's despicable for any woman to do that because what this woman is doing is you setting her all these other women up for failure. Because even now, again, it's always been like nobody believes women. It's been like that in the past, and now it again it's gone overboard where they'll just believe a woman no matter what without no evidence. It used to be they have all the evidence, but they won't believe her. Now is they don't have no evidence, but they'll believe her anyway. And so now, when you have women who's taking advantage of that, most people are not going to believe any other women. Just based on this reaction to cases like this. So me, they do these type of women do a disservice to actual victims. I know one in particular personally, and let me tell you, I've seen the damage that that can do to a person. Okay, so I feel very strongly when some woman uses this because they mad at a man for what he do. But with that said, y'all got to know the law. You got to know why most dudes wouldn't or won't because of this high barrier. Okay, it's a high barrier for them to get any conviction, and even if they get anything, most time these women are not going to prison. They may get probation, and even if let's take for example the one that directed Birth of a Nation. Oh, dang. Nate Parker. Now, remember, before this movie even came out, they this lesbian black woman brought up his rape charges against a white woman. I mean, no, a white woman accused him of rape. Him and his friends back when they were in college. He won. He was found not guilty. Him and his friends. This girl committed suicide later. this lesbian woman brought it back up, and then you had Gabrielle Union, who was in the movie, brought this up, and they asked Nate Parker, "Do you feel sorry for this woman that committed suicide?" He said, "No. She accused me of rape when I didn't do anything. I was I was cleared. I was cleared of all the charges, and that wasn't good enough for a lot of women, which contributed to the movie not doing as well as it should have. I believe they sabotaged that movie for that very reason. They sabotaged that movie. But even with all that, I, I want people to understand what you can't and cannot do as far as the law. You cannot charge somebody with false rape allegations if they never filed charges. Okay. Also, you can't file extortion and blackmail charges on somebody unless you have absolute proof that they said this. Like if this woman, Jordan, actually said to, and he had texts and everything that's saying that if you don't give me this 2K, I'm going to file charges against you. That is extortion and blackmail, and she'll be going to prison. As far as I know, that didn't happen. Otherwise, I think he would have had the text to show that. But what he is doing, which I think is very good, that he's suing her for defamation. Now, why I say that's important is because you want this documented. You want this documented with the court. So one of the things that guys gonna have to do when when these women come out here and say you raped them, sexual SH, you're gonna have to start suing them because we're gonna have to curb a lot of this. And I don't want to hear from no feminists talking about we shouldn't do that. No, we need to curb a lot of this. And that's gonna be the start. That hit them with them defamation charges. Because the thing with defamation is that if it is proven and she's convicted, she gotta pay. And you cannot bankrupt that away. Uh you can't hide your money unless you're gonna be for the rest of your life um working under the table. Because if you have any type of bank account, cash app, whatever, the court gonna find it. And also there could be other penalties, such as she can't go online no more. She can't be on social media anymore. So we don't necessarily have to have jail time, but you can have stuff like that. And for a lot of these women, that's worse than jail. If they have no access to social media, a lot of them can't even make money. But what also was really important is that this is court documented. It's court documented that this woman is going around falsely accusing men of SA, rape, whatever you want to call it, whatever sexual stuff, and falsely doing it. You want that on record so that for the next guy, it'll be easier for them to defend against. Because court's gonna be looking at this and like, wait a second, no, you've done this before. They're gonna be more inclined to believe him. And it might be worse because he might actually did something, but because this is on court record, he's gonna have an easier time to get out of it. Now that's nefarious, but I'm not that's more of a nefarious thing. But for guys who are actually innocent, yes, they're gonna have an easier time to prove they didn't do it. Okay. So you want that done. It's just like somebody was saying against Meg Thee Stallion. Why is Meg Thee Stallion spending all this money for a defaming case and they ain't getting no money on it? They don't understand the law. It's on record. You want this stuff on record. You want it on record so that if this person tried to do this again to her or someone else, it's on record. See, the thing is, you want to leave a trail, a court trail. If you want to leave a paper trail for the court that this woman is doing this kind of stuff. You want that done so that it's going to be less likely for her to do it. And then once other women see that, it's like it may not even be worth it. Social media is what it is, and we know social media it can't be erased. They bring up stuff 10, 15 years ago, so that's good. But you also want it documented in the court that this woman is doing this. So that's going to give her a lot more pause, unless she's just a goddamn idiot. And judging by this Jordan chick, she's a goddamn idiot. But again, guys gotta be stop being so ignorant of the law. You can't let your emotions get the better of you. You gotta know what the law is, especially when you're talking about false rape allegations. Why a lot of dudes would not think it's beneficial for them to try to sue them or file criminal charges. You got a high barrier that you got to fight to prove it. And then what's she gonna get? You may not get no money back. You just don't get nothing. So that's like a guy who was why these other black guys in when they were accused and were found not guilty, why they didn't sue or nothing like that or file charges. This is why. It's a high barrier to prove. Most DAs are not going to do it because they don't want that tag of we're punishing victims. You don't want that tag because their enemies can use that against them and rally women against them because women, as we've seen, they are the highest voters. Well, that didn't help them with Trump, but you know, but in many cases it will. So a DA don't want to cross a bunch of women, okay? They just don't want to. And it don't matter if they Democrat or Republican, they don't want that smoke because that will be used against him, right? Look what happened with Donald Trump, Joe Biden, the same thing. They were using that against them. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks for this guy, and it sucks more that you got ignorant people out here who don't understand the law. They don't understand anything, and they just say stuff because they in they fifis. You got to get out your fifis. You got to know the law. You got to know the law, what you can and cannot do. And for men in particular, if you want to curb a lot of this stuff, yeah, y'all need to group together. We just had a post on Facebook talking about protection and why men are not taught to treat women better and protect them. Most men are taught this. Well, all men are taught this. Now, whether they listening is another thing. And especially when you're talking about protection, What you're asking is you need to tell the bad men not to do stuff. They're bad men. They don't, the fact that they're committing crimes against women already tell you they don't give a fuck. They don't care. So the only way you deal with them is with power and control. And let's face it, most men in their lives don't have no power and control. They can't even protect themselves. How they gonna protect you? You got dudes who literally will let a woman do whatever to them or to children. Let them be around children they really shouldn't because they're really powerless. They have no power. They don't have no legal power. They have no political power. They don't have financial power. They don't have nothing. So even if they were to react to a man harming a woman, if he don't have no skills, he can get hurt or killed, which has happened. He can end up in court, and now he got to go get a lawyer. And who's going to help him with his legal fees? And if he get convicted, because that has also happened, him helping some woman, you kill this dude or for messing with this woman. Now you're going to prison. Who's going to put money in his books? And I know somebody will say, "Well, that's cowardly," and blah. No, that's real life because that man have a family, might have a family, or it's just himself. Now he has a felony on his record. He can't go get a job because he's doing the right thing. Remember the white guy on the subway who choked out that guy, the skinny black guy? Yeah, he went to trial because the skinny black guy said, "I will kill somebody for some food," and he said, "Bet," choked him out. Guess what? He went to trial. Now he was found not guilty, but the fact that he went to trial, he had to go get a lawyer. How many people got lawyer money right on deck? So that's why I'm saying, for men in particular, this is a problem we do have to solve. This is not a woman problem. This is a man problem. And if you want to be these protectors, you got to be able to protect yourself. And you got to be able to protect yourself against everything. And that's why I say collectively, men gonna have to, hey, we gotta have lawyers on deck, especially black men like myself. We're the most powerless out of everybody. Everybody. And we're the quickest to be accused of everything because we are the most powerless. We have no control over media. We have no control financially. We have no control. We have no political power like that. So yeah, we get the brunt of everything, and we get blamed for everything because we don't have no power to fight back against a lot of this stuff. That's why any black man get accused that, yeah, unless they like this guy, like a brother polite, like a R. Kelly, like a P. Diddy, he's screwed. That's why I said black men in particular, you're gonna have to get together collectively, protect yourself. Have your lawyers on deck. So this man, if he do want to help the community, get rid of these bad elements, he has protections. Or if he do go to jail, money on the books automatically, so his family don't have to suffer. This is what men got to do. I'm not worried about the women. Women gonna do and say whatever. It is what it is. They're gonna say shit. They're gonna do shit. Some of it valid, some of it not. But you cannot protect women if you cannot protect yourself. You have to be able to protect yourself from all elements. And if you can't do that, how the hell are you going to protect her? And yeah, you're gonna look like a coward. Yeah, you're gonna be but at the end of the day, if you're not doing the things for y'all to protect yourselves, how you gonna protect these women? Let them talk. They're gonna say whatever. Women gonna say whatever. They're gonna say what they feel. Some of it valid, some of it not. They're gonna do. You can't worry about them. You got to worry about you. And if you can't protect you, and you don't know how to, then all kinds of bad stuff gonna happen to you. Some of it might be your fault. Some of it not your fault. But the result probably be the same. So the same going back to this with these false rape allegations, you got another law. You got another law. Criminally, it's gonna be harder for you to do it. You can do it, but that's where you have to have your. That's why you have to have lawyers on deck. That's why you have to have political power. So that the barrier to not get the barrier to convict these women of this stuff is easier. So make it more balanced. And if you can't, if you don't want to go the criminal route, but you can go the civil route, still got to get lawyers. So it make it easier for men to sue these women and put this on record. The main thing you want that this is on record so that these women ain't can't just come out willy-nilly. Get them on social media. Get them off social media. In my opinion, any woman that accuses a man of rape and it is found to be not true completely, she should be kicked off of social media indefinitely. She should not have a Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, nothing. And if she do, she should be put in jail for contempt of court. That's not punishing victims. True victims, if they truly victims, they have nothing to worry about. But we need to get rid of these other women who are taking advantage of this system so we can make it more fair and balanced. Because I'm about balance. And sometimes balance ain't fair. I'm about balance. I'm about protecting me. I don't give a fuck about these women and other dudes. I'm about protecting me. And if we as men come together and do the things that we need to do, it's going to be better for everybody. Now you can feel more empowered. Not this false bravado, not this false empowerment where you take it out on other people, especially women, but you actually feel empowered so that, hey, I will protect you if necessary. But if you on bullshit, I'm not protecting you no matter what. You don't have to sit there and let a woman abuse you. You don't have to sit there and let her accuse you of something. You just sit there and take it. No, you actually have tools to do something against that so that it's fair and balanced, not on some you want to get some get back because a lot of these red pills want get back. I'm not interested in get back. I'm interested in making it fair and balanced so I don't have to worry if I engage in a woman, I ain't have to worry about shit. However we engage. And that if we both doing dirt, I'm gonna be the one more punished than she is. We can't have that either. But it starts with losing your ignorance of the law. Okay, we got this. We got to lose this ignorance. We can't be just reacting, and we can't go online with our ignorance. Because at the end of the day, we do. You want to say you're the logical. We want to say we're the most logical. Well, you got to act like it. A lot of y'all don't act logical. And I know this is going longer than I intended, but I got to make this point. Yeah, keep saying these women ain't logical. These women ain't logical. Okay, well, you're sure not proving that. I've seen dudes more illogical than these women are. That's why I don't even go on panels like that no more. 'Cause I'm not trying to deal with a dude that's illogical. And then it goes into name calling. Oh, you were raised with a single mother, and you got dudes who had both parents, but they acting just like these men and women with single mothers, the bad ones. Okay, well, your parents must have sucked ass. I don't know what the fuck they did, but again, you can't come out here with no ignorance because you're not helping, especially black men. You can't come out here with no ignorance because sadly, because we don't have no power over things, we when one person get in trouble, we all look bad. It's just the way it is. Because if you don't have no power, if you're weak, you are food. You will be used and abused. That's just how it is. But if you try not to get no power, well, hey, guess what? You right for the picking. It's the way it is. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. I got stuff to do. Thank you, straight to the point, for coming through. This is Brother Speak to black men. Be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. Thank y'all very much. Y'all have a good one. Peace.